Yeah, like I was saying, you know, UNLV Rebels, I think we're going to win the tournament. I mean, obviously, there could be an upset, but it's going to be kind of unlikely, unless, like, UNLV beats all the teams they played twice. There's 10 teams they played everyone once. They played everyone once. And then either the second time through, like, they'll be able to beat them a second time. If they play all the teams that play a second time. So I would say I don't think they're going to play all 10 teams. Obviously, twice in the regular season. Or I would say clearly don't see that happening. So, and then they have to beat them playing twice in the regular season. Well, the games they play them twice in the regular season if they match up a third time in the conference tournament. More or less tournament, are going to be in the third time. That's like the real question. Like, they could be in once. Obviously, they could probably be a team twice. It's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a season. And that's what UNLV is going to be faced with. It's going to be tough, though. In the Northeast Conference. In the 19 Northeast. Yeah. It's tough, though. I mean, I could say Fairleigh Dickinson right now. Maybe I could say Sacred Heart winning, but Fairleigh, though, has just more wins than Sarah. That really helps them. Sacred did play a tougher non-conference, though. As well. So, but I mean, Fairleigh knows have been tough games. It's wins games. The Sacred just played tough games the last year. And maybe Wagner could sneak up there as well. But they're a game behind, so they have that. So who knows? How about I think it's either Eastern or Little Rock. I mean, there's 9 teams to play against. So they're on their conference slate. So they're starting their conference slate the second time. And Eastern has been undefeated. But their games are not like super like blowout games. Which actually helps, kind of. A little bit. Surprisingly. I mean, kind of it does. Because then I know that then the other team gives them confidence or something, really. We can beat them, But if I'm gonna give them like tournament games. Like, they played a bunch of close games in the tournament, in the regular season. It's like conference tournament time. And come postseason time, they make it to they try to force an upset, in the tournament. But it's probably going to come down to Eastern and Little Rock matchup in the conference championship. Who wins that to win the conference tournament? In the Pac-12 conference, it's hard to predict a big time conference like the Pac-12, like the Pacific 12. But this year it's pretty cut and dry. I think Stanford has it locked up. I won't necessarily say that. I mean, they did lose a game, drop a game. Stanford did. Other than the South Carolina, they did drop a game in the conference. So, I mean, there's obviously one game left from being restarting their conference slate after they play one more game. No, for a second time. So if they get like a team that they play twice, and the conference tournament third time, if they get like, you know, a good team for the last two, maybe so. I can see him getting but I think like Stanford's my favorite, unless something fluke happens, something happens, some fluke. But I still see Stanford winning the Pacific 12, no problem, no real problems. They're not gonna be like blowout games, but they're gonna be like, except maybe like, just maybe Arizona or Cal or Washington State or some teams like that. But we'll see. On the page, like, at first it looked like it was going to be Holy Cross and Boston. Bang out, but Holy Cross. They lost to Lehigh. And then they lost to Army. The Army Black Knights. They lost to them as well. In the conference. So it is like, for the Holy Cross. It's one of those things where, you're playing. And it's like, you just don't want to, you like lose the first one. You're okay. But then you get on a little bit of a losing skid. And that's really not what you want. See? It's well, this is Boston University on the fourth. American 8, Kids League. Versus Lafayette, Saturday at 11. And Holy Cross on the 15th. Not on the 18th. Army 22nd. Lehigh on the 25th. And Holy Cross on the 1st. So it's a tough match. So yeah, it's one of those things where they got play Holy Cross. So, but Holy Cross. It's one of those things where Holy Cross keeps falling in conference and regular season. Like regular season and conference falls a little bit. Like if they can't turn around soon enough, they're done. Like it's one of those things where there's like the first loss you get in like conference, or the first loss you get as a whole. You ready? Virginia State, they got their first 3 losses in a row in conference tournament. In the conference, Ohio State did. They got their first 3 losses in conference, and their first 3 losses overall. And why? Well, just because they had one game. Tough game against Iowa, but then they've getting kind of seen it, and they've been kind of been a little softer because not like 100%, and been beatable. And this is South Carolina and LSU, which is SEC. And this is SEC net. So who's going to win the SEC network tournament? Huh? I see. South Carolina winning the SEC network tournament. When's that school start? I definitely see South Carolina winning it. I can see them being Tennessee. Well, there's 13 teams that you have to play against SEC. And they play both South Carolina, or South Carolina plays both LSU and Tennessee. And see me both. I mean, they play LSU on the 12th of February in the afternoon game in South Carolina. They played tough teams. They played Maryland. Played really at Stanford and beat them. Beat UCLA. Got South Dakota squad. They won what they're supposed to. You know, some stuff for your teams out. And then the first time it's the season, the 23rd. They play less than the 19th and missing it. And the 4th they play. And 12th they play versus LSU on ESPN. They play versus UConn. Probably gonna be on FS1 or UConn. Or on Fox. Monday. Or Thursday, Sunday. Or Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see South Carolina winning the SEC tournament. Going like undefeated in conference. Although, would you rather have your first loss being the SC tournament? Or being like the regular season? Or the tournament? Maybe in the tournament, I don't know. You know, would you rather, maybe in the regular season, would you rather in the SEC? Obviously in the SEC, but would you rather your first loss then? Your first loss just... You know? That's the thing. I don't know LSU. Or South Carolina. Maybe LSU too. LSU probably gonna lose to South Carolina, but they're obviously gonna get one win, losers gonna get one loss. Maybe they won't split. Maybe South Carolina splits with LSU. Maybe, but if South Carolina takes control of LSU in the start, then maybe not. If LSU can hold off they're playing Arkansas the second time. Arkansas was fighting, knew what to do against him. And did perfect it, but then just LSU just couldn't come back. LSU came back from it and fought back. And they didn't let Arkansas. They let Arkansas come into it, but they didn't and they needed stops. You need buckets. They got them. You know how to get buckets, and you know how to get stops when they need it most. So we'll see. And Team Southern. Mercer, Wofford, and Samford are in top. Who I think is going to make it to the tournament? Wofford, I think, has more chances of winning. Obviously, I assume so. Guess it's one more games. And Samford probably sneaks in the NCAA. Or sneaks in the NIT, Samford does. Wofford makes it to the NCAA tournament. Although it could be a Wofford-Samford matchup in the Southern tournament. And the winner makes it to the championship. But you know, the top is 2 losses, so there's a bunch of parity, so who knows? It's tough though. You know, but we'll see though. In the Southland. Texas Corpus Christi obviously is the favorite there. One. We'll see a game back. There are no games back of 16 Colors. Which is only a game back of them. That's tough, though. That's tough. I could see Texas and Commerce making a turn. Could see Southeastern Louisiana with upsets. Texas and Corpus did get their first loss in conference. So we'll see coming the second time how that changes things. So I still see Texas and Corpus Christi unless they play. Maybe if they play Texas and Commerce, maybe Southeastern Louisiana. Literally the teams I can really see beating them. In the SWAT. So there's 11 teams. And you have to play in the SWAC. And there's some of these teams are 8 losses, or 8 games, some are 9. I feel there are 9. And mainly they're a bunch of 8. There's 11 teams you have to play in the SWAC. So you're not gonna have much of a chance to play teams twice. In conference. But we'll see though. I could see Jackson State winning. Jackson State's been really dumb in the conference. They almost beat LSU last year in conference in the NCAA tournament on the road. We'll see. Maybe Southern sneaks in, or Alabama A&M. One of those two teams, I could see Southern and Alabama A&M sneaking in. But we'll see. Jackson State. I really want to see Jackson State again. See if they can play like a tough team. See if they can upset a team again. In the Summit League, there's 9 teams they have to play against. In conference, and they've already played 2 teams twice. They beat them again, so I think South Dakota State's obviously the clear favorite. Last year, South Dakota, the Coyotes, made it to the Sweet 16, they almost made it to the 8. But I could definitely see South Dakota pulling off. They've also played 2 in 4 AP ranked teams. They were 2-2 against them. So they played South Carolina, and it was only an 18-point win, I think, for South Carolina, which is pretty hard. It was in South Dakota, was still out of their league, but they still went to South Dakota, and they played the WNIT champions. I don't know if they're gonna be obviously champions, but they will be probably a Sweet 16. I could definitely see that. Which would be pretty remarkable. Incredible. They did that 18-5. In the Sun Belt's pretty stacked. Well, there's 13 teams you have to play in the Sun Belt. Each team has only played 10 of the 13. We'll see them. I say it's either Troy, Texas State, Southern Miss, or Louisiana. But I say Troy though, because Troy is 8-2, and James Madison was undefeated in conference. And I thought, okay, they might be to keep on this roll. They'll be probably ranked top 25, possibly. No way. We're not even in the play for consideration. And this is one of those things where they losing. They lost to Georgia State, I believe. Or is it Georgia Southern? I can't remember, but they did lose a surprise game. I think it was Georgia State. It was like surprising game. I was like, is that really until you drain this? And it's like on the downward. In the West Coast. Let me see, there's 9 teams you have to play in the West Coast Conference. And, I mean, so, Gonzaga's played them, like, 2 teams twice. And I can see Gonzaga win the conference undefeated. I can see that.